Hello everyone, welcome back to study.com. In this session, we are going to discuss about literary sources of ancient Indian history. So, let's get started. Before coming to this topic, we have to know about what is historical sources. Historical sources is an original source that contain important historical information. Historical sources includes documents, artifacts, archaeological sites, oral transmissions, inscriptions, paintings, images, etc. Here, sources of ancient Indian history can be classified into two, that is, literary sources and archaeological sources. We can move to literary sources. Literary sources can be broadly divided into religious literature and non-religious literature. Religious literature can be further divided into three types, that is, Hindu religious literature, Buddhist literature, and Jain literature. Here, the first category is Hindu religious literature. It includes Vedic text. Vedic text is the primary text of Hinduism. The word Veda is derived from the Sanskrit word Vid, which means knowledge or to know. It is a huge body of religious text that originated in ancient India. The Vedic literature classified into four volumes, that is Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, and Atharva Veda. The Rigveda is regarded as one of the most sacred texts of Hinduism. Rigveda is divided into 10 books which are known as mandalas. Second one, Samaveda. Samaveda is a Veda of songs and chants. It holds a divine status in the Hindu tradition. Third one, Yajurveda. Yajurveda is the most important Veda specifically for the sacrificial rituals, which were the cornerstone of Vedic religion. Finally, Atharva Veda. Atharva Veda is an ancient Hindu scripture. It is commonly known as fourth Veda. Sometimes it is called the Veda of magical formula. Atharva Veda deals with the folk rites, rituals, magic and medicine, etc. After Vedic text, Sutra literature arrived. These sutras give us information about Vedic society. Kalpa Sutra is very famous among Sutra literature, which deals with the rules and regulations. It has three parts, that is, Shrauda Sutra, Grihya Sutra, and Dharma Sutra. Shrauda Sutra deals with the subject of rituals and various types of yajnas and ceremonies. Second one, Grihya Sutra. Grihya Sutra are sacred Hindu writings that give information on Vedic domestic rites and ceremonies of households. And Dharma Sutra. Dharma Sutra deals with the social life of the Vedic era in which various code of conduct and religious matters are explained. Next one is Smriti text. After sutras, Smriti texts were formed. Smriti texts help us in understanding social, religious, economic, political and cultural life of the people of Vedic period. The earliest Smriti work is called Manusmriti. It was written in between the period 200 BC to 200 AD. Manusmriti is an ancient legal text or Dharma Shastra of Hinduism. It describes the social system from the time of the Aryans. Yajnavalkya Smriti was another important Smriti text written in between 100 AD to 300 AD. Narada Smriti, Brihaspati Smriti and Katyayana Smriti were the important Smritis during this period. After Smriti text, Purana were compiled. The Purana means the old. There are traditionally 18 Puranas in Hinduism. That is Agni, Brahma, Kurma, Markandeya, Naradiya, Padma, Bhavishya, Brahma Vaivarta, Shiva, Vamana, Bhagavata, Garuda, Brahmanda, Vishnu, Varaha, Linga, Skanda, and Malsya. Shaiva Purana consisted of Shiva Purana, Vayu Purana, and Skanda Purana. Vaishnava Purana consisted of Vishnu Purana, Garuda Purana, Malsya Purana, and Varaha Purana. Malsya Purana considered as the oldest Purana. Next one is epics. Every culture has its own great fundamental text. The great epic of India are the Ramayana and Mahabharata. The Ramayana written by Valmiki and Mahabharata written by Vedavyasa. Another important religious literature is Buddhist literature. Here, Pitaka. Pitaka are the oldest Buddhist text. There are three types of Pitakas, that is Sutta Pitaka, Vinaya Pitaka and Abhidhamma Pitaka. Sutta Pitaka is a religious ideology of Lord Buddha. Vinaya Pitaka consists of the law of Buddhist Sanghas and Abhidhamma Pitaka throw light on philosophical ideas of Buddhist. Next one is Jataka stories. Jataka stories are the body of literature comprising account of previous lives of the Buddha. The Sri Lankan Buddhist text Deepavamsha and Mahavamsha provide information about the close relations between India and Sri Lanka. Divyavadana was the another important Buddhist text, which consisted of information about different rulers. Milinda Panha is an important Buddhist text, which claimed to be a dialogue between the Indian Buddhist sage Nagasena and the king of Milinda, that is Menander, the Greek ruler of a Indo-Greek kingdom. Another important religious literature is Jain literature. The Jain literature is called Jain Agamas. They are canonical texts of Jainism based on Mahavira's teaching. There are in all 46 texts. The Acharanga Sutra is a part of Agamas which were based on the teachings of Mahavira. Bhagavati Sutra throw light on the life of Mahavira. Another important Jain text is Parishta Parvan. This text deals with the histories of the earliest Jain teachers. The Bhadrabahu Charita throw light on the life of Jain Acharya Bhadrabahu and Chandragupta. Non-religious literary sources are Arthashastra, Mudra Rakshasa, Mahabhashya, Rajatarangini, Vikramanga Devacharita, Ashtatyayai, Malavika Nimitra, Charaka Samhita and Susruta Samhita, and Harsha Charita. Here, Arthashastra. Arthashastra is a famous book on statecraft written by the famous philosopher Kautilya, also known as Chanakya. Mudra Rakshasa written by Vishagadatta. It gives us information about Mauryan period. Mahabhashya written by Patanjali, which is a commentary on Panini's text, provides some information about the history of Sunga dynasty. Rajatarangini written by Kalhana. This book deals with the history of the northwestern Indian subcontinent, particularly the king of Kashmir. Vikramanga Devacharita was a literary masterpiece by Bilhana, who wrote it in honor of his patron king Vikramaditya. Ashtadhyayi, it was written by Panini. It is the oldest grammar literature of India. It gives us information about socio-political and religious condition of pre-Mauryan period. Malavika was written by Kalidasa. It deals with the love story of King Agnimitra and the court dancer Malavika. Charaka Samhita and Susruta Samhita contain a wealth of healing secret for body and mind. And finally, Harsha Charita. Harsha Charita written by Banabhatta. It is a biography of Indian Emperor Harshavardhana. Foreign accounts. Foreign accounts are also a part of literary sources. In ancient times, a number of travelers from Greek, Romans, Chinese, and Arabs were visited India. These travelers left numerous accounts of the incident they had observed. Foreign travelers to India are Megasthenes, Fahian, Itzing, Huangshan, Al-Masudi, Al-Baruni, Marco Polo, Niccolo di Conti, Ibn Battuta, and Durete Barbosa. Megasthenes, he was the ambassador of Seleucus Nicator, who visited India during the supremacy of Chandragupta. He wrote book Indica. Megasthenes Indica is a very important source of Indian history. India has importance in the reconstruction of ancient India under the Mauryan Empire. It shows us the administration, diverse culture and philosophy of ancient Indian people. Fahian. He was a Chinese Buddhist monk. He visited India during the reign of Vikramaditya or Chandragupta II. His travelogue named as Record of Buddhist Kingdom. Itzing. He was a Chinese traveler. He wrote a travelogue titled Record of the Inner Law Sent Home from the Southern Sea. It includes his observation on customs of eating, drinking, daily routines, behavior towards strangers, relationship between teacher and pupil, etc. Huangshan. He was a Chinese Buddhist monk. He visited India during the supremacy of Harshavardhana. He wrote Siyuki or the records of Western countries. Al-Masudi. He was an Arab traveler. He given account of India in his book Miraj-ul-Sehab. Al-Biruni. He was a Persian scholar. He wrote book titled Tarikh-i-Hind or History of India. He was the first Muslim scholar to study India. Marco Polo. He was an Italian traveler. He visited India during the reign of Pandya kingdom. Ibn Battuta. He was a Moroccan traveler. He visited India during the reign of Muhammad bin Tughlaq. His work named as Rihla. Niccolo di Conti. He was an Italian merchant, explorer and writer who visited India in 1420 AD at the Vijayanagara Empire, probably after the accession of Devaraya II. Abul Razak. He was a Persian scholar. He visited India during the reign of Devaraya II of Vijayanagara. Durete Barbosa. He was a Portuguese traveler. He has given brief description of government and people of Vijayanagara. So that's it for today's session. We will continue with the archaeological sources of Indian history in the next session. Till then, bye. Thank you.